Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 266. So in this episode, you're going to hear why Mia Moran is so badass. And one of the things that I really loved, and we'll talk about it here, is how Mia really looked for pockets, looked for balance. And if you listen to the last episode about the pockets, you'll know, but if not, this episode we'll address it as well. But really finding balance. And I'm going to tell you, I'm looking for balance. And so this episode is coming to you a little bit late. I don't love that. I like to be consistent, but that doesn't always happen, right? You have to find balance. And so that's what I did. I took a little bit of time to rest, to get rid of my headache, and try to find some balance because I just needed it. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed out, like so much stuff is going on, I gotta ask you, what can you do to find a little bit more balance in your life? Is there anything that you can cut out? We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to be Wonder Woman or do all of the things all the time and have it be right on time. No. Even if you take a break, even if you're late, even if you sleep in or take a day off or take some time for yourself, you're a badass no matter what. You're a badass on your freaking best days, but you're also a badass on your worst days. You don't have to live up to some crazy high standard. Okay, I guess I just wanted to get that out there to let you know that you can take a break. What can you cut out of your schedule today? Okay, I'm looking to hear from you because I want to know. Hit me up on Instagram at Ordinary to Badass. Just screenshot this episode. I love, love, love hearing from you. And if you don't want to throw it in your Instagram stories, just DM me. Let me know. What are you cutting out? What are you cutting out so you can find more balance in your life? Before we get to the episode, if you're loving this podcast, I'd be super grateful. Head on over to iTunes, leave a 5-star rating and review. I know you're busy. You got a lot going on. We were just talking about balance, right? But when you do find that 5 minutes pocket or you have an extra 5 minutes, then head on over to iTunes, leave a 5-star rating and review. I'm super grateful for you. And I want other badasses just like you to find the show. With that, let's get to it. Welcome to Ordinary to Badass. Whether you're ordinary or badass, I'm so glad you're here. Today, I'm going to share 3 reasons why Mia Moran is so badass. So Mia, in case you missed the last episode, she helps women get past the overwhelm in life, work, wellness, all those things. So it was a great episode. A lot of things that could really help in this season since it's the holiday season and so many of us have so much going on. Okay, so 3 reasons why Mia Moran is so badass. First reason is because of her blind faith, not her blind faith, her intuitive faith. Second is because she overcame hardships to write a book. And third is she said, forget balance, find the pockets. So let's dig in. So first reason Mia is so badass is because she had intuitive faith. So a lot of times we talk about this idea of having blind faith, just go forward blindly, but she wasn't necessarily going forward blindly. She was listening to that intuition. And she said her intuition told her she needed to focus on her health. Maybe that's why she was so tired, is because she wasn't eating the proper foods or she wasn't as healthy as she could be. That's what her intuition told her. So it's not exactly blind if you're listening to your gut, you're listening to your intuition. We get these little nudges and we often ignore them. And so she said, you know what? I didn't have a whole plan. I didn't know the next step. None of it was laid out for me. I just took one step at a time. So first she signed up for a yoga class. And then after signing up for the yoga class, it led to getting to know the yoga instructor. And really, she wasn't attached to the outcome. I realize my heater's on, which is probably creating some back noise. My apologies. So just turned it off. But she wasn't attached to an outcome. She just said, I'm just going to take the next step and the next step. And that led to her losing like 85 pounds because she just took the next step. She was listening to our intuition. A lot of times, your subconscious can pick up so much more than you can consciously. So if you're listening to those little intuition, maybe you can't put it together, or you're like, I don't know why, but something's telling me I need to do this. Well, a lot of times you have a lot of experience in your life, but it's a matter of, are you listening? Us women, listen, men and women both have intuition, right? I'm just going to say though, I think women, maybe it's a little bit easier to listen, or we get those nudges, but we just might choose to ignore them. We've all done that, right? Where you get a nudge, you get a feeling about something, and then you just ignore it. And then later, maybe it bites you in the butt. Have you ever met somebody and then like you just immediately did not get a good feeling about them? And then you're like, oh no, that's not realistic. I don't know why I felt that. And then later it comes back around like, oh, my gut instinct was right on that person. Ever happen? I feel like that's happened to everybody, right? But you might want to do something. Maybe it's a health goal, or maybe it's a fitness goal, right? Maybe you want to run a marathon, but you just don't see how. You don't see how that could ever be possible for you. If that's what your intuition is telling you, listen to it. Sometimes just the fact that you're following your intuition, it's like, then the universe is going to be like, oh, I'm going to help her out because she is going for it, right? She's listening. She's doing what she can do and taking her steps. So I'm going to help her find the second step and then the next step. And so it's interesting how those steps or those things can just be laid out for you. And all you have to do is take that first step. And then sometimes the next thing will appear, right? So, are you listening to your intuition? Do you have intuitive faith? Now, think back in a time in your life where listening to your intuition has helped you. Sometimes that helps moving forward when we're like, oh, yeah, it really did help me in the past. So think back to that time, just kind of remember it because that can give you the courage to listen to your intuition going forward. And then just decide, just be like Mia. She's like, I just made a decision that I was going to be healthy. What is that decision for you? Okay. Number two, the second reason why Mia is so badass is because she pushed past hardships and excuses when it came to writing her cookbook, right? She wrote a stinking book. And here's the cool thing is that she's dyslexic. So she could have thought about writing a book and been like, you know what? I can't do it. I'm dyslexic. That will never work for me. But she didn't. She just did it. She went all in and did it. What's kind of cool, I don't even know if the show's still on, but Shark Tank. Have you ever watched the Shark Tank? Well, most of the sharks have some sort of learning disability or some sort of issue they had to overcome to get to where they are. Kind of like being dyslexic, right? They almost all of them had something that was like a setback or a huge setback in childhood or through their education. But that actually could have been the thing that propelled them forward. All of those hard times, not understanding or having to put extra hours into studying and learning, that prepared them to be able to deal with the hard times, to be able to deal with the hardship, for everything not to go perfect all the time. So maybe being dyslexic was actually Mia's superpower. She might not have known it. She may not have known it as a kid or even as an adult, But those things, those hard things that you went through and overcame, they absolutely can be your superpower. And then if you pick yourself up and like dust yourself off, then it's like, okay, I can do this. You learn that when you fail or when you struggle or when you fall down or things are hard, then you just pick yourself up and start again. So let that thing that you have struggled with or you have let define you, and maybe you thought of it in like a bad way. I don't know, I was just going to do air quotes there, but maybe you thought of it in a bad way. Let that be your superpower. Let that be the thing, like, man, I got through that. So now that's going to help me now, right? So all of that grit and tenacity she had through school, getting through and probably the hard times and the tough time reading or writing, well, guess what? Then she used that because she worked so hard and she wrote a stinking book. So she had learned what to do by then. Use your struggle to be your success. It doesn't have to define you in a bad way. You are a badass. I don't know if you've heard that lately, but you absolutely are a badass. And those things that are hard for you can be the things that make you really badass or that set you up for your badassery, right? You can do hard things. And something that Mia had said was the little things are the big things. The little things you do every single day in your life, those lead to the big things. So let's take, I'm just going to say marathon. Let's take that as an example. You're setting your time to run a marathon. Well, all of the little things you do day in and day out to get you ready for that marathon, those are the big things. It's like all those days that you spend training, that leads up to the big event, right? Or for Mia, like getting her health under control, going to the yoga class, becoming friends with the yoga teacher and starting to eat salads and do different things. The decisions she made every single day led up to the big picture. That led up to the big thing, which for her, she had talked about losing 85 pounds, but it also led up to the big thing of being healthy, right? She got her health back. So your decisions in the daily, those lead to the big decisions. Those lead to the badassery or feeling badassery. Feeling badass, not feeling badassery, but those little things you do day in and day out lead to the big things. So don't forget that. We always think like, oh, we want this big moment. We want like, what is that going to feel like? Well, we kind of forget how it feels in the day in and the day out. Well, we're putting in the work. So realize that what you're doing today, even if it might seem like it's a little thing, in the big picture, it's a big thing. It's a huge thing. Okay, now let's move to number 3. The third reason why Mia is so badass is because she said, forget balance and find pockets. And so she would find the pockets. And what does this mean? This means there might not always be balance. You might not always have work-life balance or have everything be perfect, but it's finding the pockets of time where you can take time for yourself. Like maybe it's go for a walk, or maybe it's just hug a kid, right? Or balance your checkbook in the 5 minutes that you have. You find these 5, 10, 15-minute pockets of time, or whatever pockets of time you can find, and you enjoy them. You use those pockets to help you feel balanced. I think that it's underestimated how 5 minutes, 10 minutes can completely change your life. It can change your day. It can change your mood. So maybe it's 5 minutes of silence just for you, just to sit with yourself. And that 5 minutes can help you to feel more balanced. We often think it needs to be even, like the amount of time you go to work and the amount of time that you're at home, that it needs to be even with each other. Not the truth. Sometimes we just need to find these pockets. Or maybe you feel like you're working too much and so you feel guilty about the kids. Well, how can you carve out a pocket of time with the kids? And maybe it's intentional time, so you just put your phone away. You put your phone to the side. But you're just intentional about this time that you're spending with them. You don't need equal footing, equal time for everything in your life, but you can find the pockets. And I think that actually feels better, to just look for the pockets of time and just look for those small windows, because then it's not so much pressure, right? Realistically, everything can't be equal. But if you can just throw in those pockets of time that you want more of or need more of, and you know what, maybe it's a matter of like, okay, get out your phone and you're going to put on your phone in your calendar what you need. So if you want to spend time with your kids, then put that in your calendar on your phone or whatever calendar you use. Or if you're going to take 5 minutes to yourself, put that in your calendar. Own that 5 minutes. If we don't schedule it, sometimes it won't happen. Even if you're not a big scheduler, it's like if you put it in your calendar, then like that little reminder pops up, like time for yourself or time to budget, time to go play with your kids, then you're more likely to do it. So forget balance and find pockets. So quick recap, 3 reasons why Mia Moran is so badass. 1 is because of her intuitive faith. I keep wanting to say blind faith, because of her intuitive faith. 2 is how she worked past the struggles to create a book or to write a book. And 3 is how she found balance, or forget balance and find pockets. Words are hard. Forget balance and find pockets. So those are the 3 reasons why Mia Moran is so badass. Now, tune in on Monday so you can hear Monday's episode. It's going to be so good. And with that, we'll end our show. To all the badass women out there staying in the arena, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, own it and get after it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass, and get the chance to be on a future Spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.